let's briefly talk about SQL injection defenses. Now, there are more than 2 defenses out here, but these are the 2 big ones. And really, the biggest one is parameterized statements or parameterized queries. And what that means is it ensures the inputs, or also known as parameters, are used safely in SQL statements. So they're passed through the SQL statement safely. An example here I have are a good example and a bad example. So here's a good example. We've got select wildcard from users where email equals ? Okay, and what does that mean? Well, the way we're passing data here is the parameterized string is going to be passed separately than the parameters being provided. Okay, in this statement here where we say select wildcard from users where email equals, and then we just provide the email as like a variable, it's going to take the entire SQL statement and it's going to provide it all at once. So this parameterized statements is really the way to go, and this is just responsible coding, okay? And this is when I said in the first video that SQL statements or SQL injection attacks are easy to prevent. They are. I mean, look at the difference in the code here. But you still get coding that comes out like this and allows for SQL injection attacks. The other idea behind this is to sanitize input. Remember when we had the single quote and we had the 1 = 1 type statement? And that should never happen, right? So if we have that kind of statement, that should be sanitized. And you could sanitize all the way down to very specifics, like you should not have the like a single quote in there, or you can specify entire statements like the single quote or 1 = 1 ... For an example, you could take that entire statement and say, hey, that's suspicious. I'm going to sanitize that. So ensuring that the input that is provided is not malicious is important as well, but we can prevent it here entirely with parameterized statements by ensuring that the parameters are sent separately, right? So that's really the big takeaway here. If you're asked on an interview how you can do this, parameterized statements should be your first answer. You can also talk about sanitizing input. That would go over well as well, but we're after number 1 here when we're interviewing. So that's it for here. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next attack, and I will see you over in the next video.